welcome. It's Friday. It's my day. And, huh? Okay. Sorry about that. That's the case. I owe him 900. I took my check, so if my screen go black, y'all know why. Um, welcome, welcome.
Got the utilities man right there.
Right, the utility man. That's why I had to tell him. Welcome to Williams World. I'm your host, Will I Am. And before I get started, as always, I gotta introduce my partner in crime, my main man Charles Brakely. Y'all know him as Chuck B. What's up, Chuck?
Yo, what's going on, Will? Hey, I'm interested. I'm excited about the day. So, like I always tell you, if you rocking, I'm definitely rolling. So let's roll, baby.
All right, we're gonna roll. I'm a little excited. Oh, I'm sorry. Before I get into it, you want to do the sponsor now, or you want to do our commercial now? Because we're gonna get real intense here.
Yeah, we're gonna do a commercial now. A lot of people said, Chuck, where's the old commercial? They want to see the old commercial again. So we're gonna do the old commercial first, and then we'll get into the new commercial afterwards. So here we go. This is the A Game. This is our sponsor for today. Check it out.
This is A Game, an all-natural herbal dietary supplement formulated exclusively for men. Our proprietary blend was designed with one goal in mind: to improve your overall health, rejuvenating your vitality, energy, strength, and libido. Want to be at your peak performance in everything you do? Then bring your A Game. Fast-acting, long-lasting, with no side effects.
Oh my God.
All right, and that is the A Game. Again, if you want your free sample, I have maybe 2 or 3 left. So give me a call at 302-723-2836. Again, 302-723-2836 to get your free sample of the A Game. This is for men only. Again, this is for vitality, energy, strength, and libido. So definitely you want to get your A Game on, give me a call. All right, back to you, Will. What's going on?
and listen, looking. It really works. So make sure somebody there to play the game with you, or have a long night. My guest.
One of these things don't belong with the other.
I'm excited, and I'm a little anxious here because it's family. These our guests are family. I'm gonna start down at the bottom left and introduce Dawn Andreoli. My main man up top in the middle, Steve Bobo, and on my right, my main man, Ronnie Pierce. These are first responders. And we're gonna get right into it, okay? I'm gonna just ask some questions, guys, and y'all answer, okay? We at Feel Good Talk and the people out there watching, we'd like to know what led you to become first responders.
I'll go first. Being in Refinery, it was I started out as a operator out in the units, and eventually a time came where we was able to bid to go to the fire department. And with that, I just took a chance on doing it, man. And that was back in probably 98, somewhere 99, I think. And to this point right now, I mean, it's been almost 28 years, like I told you, Will, the other day. And now I'm the fire chief, or the correct title is emergency response leader. But myself and that sexy guy up there in the middle between y'all two, we've been ebony and ivory for a long time. So we've been doing this since way back in the day. That's the way it is, man. Now it's a way of life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bobo?
Pretty much down the same road that Ron went, except I was a volunteer firefighter on the outside. I started that in 1989. And like I said, I joined the refinery around 1990, was participating in all the teams, and an opportunity came up to bid into the fire department. I was lucky enough to get in there to work with my player partner, Mr. Pierce, and alongside Miss Dawn.
Excellent. Dawn?
Yeah, so mine was a little bit different. My father was in the Navy, so by nature he was a volunteer firefighter. So outside of work, he volunteered. So I was kind of around it a lot, but I wasn't really interested in it until I started working at the refinery. And I was on the crude unit where quite often we had fires, and I wanted to be part of the solution, right? Not getting in the way and being part of the problem. or making the problem worse because I didn't know what to do. So that's kind of how I got involved with volunteering.
Awesome. And I commend all of you on that, because I'm telling you, first responders, I mean, that, right then and there, you definitely have to know that's what you want to do, because some of the stuff that you run up on is horrific. You know what I mean? So, I commend you for, being that first responder, because it definitely is a hard job. And not only that, being as though last year, that big pandemic, we're still in the pandemic, but it came about. How was life, as first responders during that, when the pandemic started? How did that affect you in any way?
Well, out on the street, my volunteer department, we didn't know which end was up, and we actually have a nursing home in my town where we were responding to different calls, and we were actually suiting up in full turnout gear just for a fire alarm. It was pretty scary back then, as it still is today. You're fighting something that's totally invisible.
Right. Anybody else want to answer that one too, or good with them?
Yeah. In the refinery, man, it hurt us. It hurt us big time, because we had a lot of protocols and procedures we had to go through, and with people being out, we had minimum staff in there, just trying to prevent the spread of COVID going around in the refinery. So with that, all training came to a halt. You know what I mean? We wasn't able to do nothing, and people was itching to train, but we had to look out for the good of the people, man. So all of us, when the stuff hit the fan, we responded, but that's just because we had such good training, from previous times. Mm-hmm. But, in the long run, it's hurt us again. Like you said, Chuck, it's still hurting us today, man. Yeah. We really just starting to get back to the training phase. Mm-hmm. And it's like starting, you got to crawl before you walk again. You know what I mean? So we can get back up to speed, but it's coming around slowly but surely.
Awesome. Yeah.
Into that point.
That training, Ronnie, that you put on, I mean, just that interactions that we have, and kind of everybody starts to know what they're supposed to do without being told. That's like the biggest thing over the last year, I think, has really, it's been scary, because we haven't been able to do that. And we're not with people that, it's not that second nature stuff. When we show up, we're actually questioning where before we kind of just did what we knew how to do. Right. So it's different.
Yeah. And I was telling you earlier, I'm a first responder as well, as far as the utility business, and, just the whole, like you said, the training that was put to a halt, the normal protocol when you jump out the truck and do what you need to do. Sometimes you had to put, like you said, suit up and, get on different gear. It was bad, and a lot of times people were really scared, even to go out there and, do their job. You know what I mean? So again, we didn't know it's a scary situation. We're guessing, really. Okay, well, we got to make sure we have this on. We got to make sure we have this on. And then on top of it, you have to still worry about being safe. Have your proper PPE on, as well as the other PPE that goes on, to combat the COVID. So again, it was just a mess out there, and it still is, but it's getting better, because, it's kind of not winding down, but it's actually, we're getting used to the way of life, to this type of, to this way of life. So again, we're adjusting, put it like, I ain't gonna say getting used to.
It's still hard, man. Like Dawn said, all of us, we together all the time. So, the left hand know what the right hand is doing. You know what I mean? We was at that point where that's the way we were. Mm-hmm. But with this big delay or lack of training and everything, something like you said, you lose when you don't. We got a phrase that when you don't use it, you lose it, right? Yep. And that's the basis of everything, man. Yep. And we lose that thing, then that confidence that we have, you lose that confidence too. Yeah. So it's a give and take, man. It's real, and it's real dangerous situation.
Yes, sir.
I mean, when you think of it overall.
Yep.
Yeah, you always fall back on your training, the people you're with, and the confidence in your equipment in which you have, and then you go after it from there. But we got to knock the rust off and just keep on keeping on.
That's right. Yep. Got anything to add to that, Dawn?
I agree with them. I mean, it's kicking that rust off is a big deal.
There you go. Yeah.
Being comfortable with each other is so important to begin with, and then to not have that for so long and trying to get comfortable again, and you're right, confidence is a big thing.
Yeah, that is so important because, like I said, everyone becomes, you become family. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
On the front
absolutely.
lines, you know what I'm saying? It's no longer, this is my brother, this is my sister. We got to get this done, and we got to do it safely and make sure everybody's back and return
Yeah.
home either better than what they came or the same as they came, when they came.
Absolutely.
So
That's the goal.
we got a lot of questions and comments out there, so we're gonna get to those. There's a lot of them. So Kia Milburn, we love to talk to the audience. He says, hello, everyone. What's going on, Kia? Actually, she's listening to us on YouTube, so thanks for that. We got Izzy Meditate. She says, hello, everyone. What's going on, Izzy? Thanks for tuning in. We got Steven Thornton. What's going on, buddy? He's in the house. He's doing his thing. And also, Izzy says, hey, Steven. So they talk to each other as well, so y'all got to, excuse that. Steve goes back to Izzy, says, hey, Izzy. Tyrone Ricks, the 10 of Life, is tuned in. What's going on, Ty? Thanks for tuning in. He's always tuned in. And what up, Feel Good Talk? Thanks for tuning in, brother. Izzy says, thank you all for all that you do. So she's thanking everyone out here for all that they do. Thanks for that. She says, hello, Tyrone. And he's speaking to us. Ty speaking to us. What up, brother Charles, Will, to all on the show. And Stephen Thornton says, thank you, first responders. And Stephen also says, with COVID-19, has your passion for your job changed for better or worse? I think we talked about that, but we can probably elaborate on that a little bit more. Has anybody's passion changed for, what they do as far as better or worse as far as the job is concerned?
I can tell you right now, it hasn't changed at all, man. Mm-hmm. And now it makes you even more hungry, if you will, for us to get back to it, man. And now we got that window to train, and it's like everything that we can do, every chance that we get, our upper echelon pretty much opened the window just a little bit for us. And with that little crack in the window, we taking advantage of it, man. So
there you go.
Yeah, we're hungry, man. We're hungry, ready to do it.
I like that. And Tom Mitchell, he gives
Can I just?
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Dawn. Go ahead. I didn't mean. Go ahead, Dawn. Mm-hmm.
No, that's okay. I just want to add in when we're talking about first responders, right? So Ronnie and Bobo are the guys that are right in front, and they're directing everything and so forth.
Right.
And so, like for me, right, I just need to fit in to help. And sometimes it's not being the person on the nozzle, right? Sometimes it's that backup truck that needs to be driven down where I come in, right? Or listen, these guys need water and we're out of it, or go get it, right? Or kink that hose and make sure it straightens out. So sometimes when we're talking about first responders and we're talking about the guys that are at the scene, like on it, right? Touching it, on it. But there's a lot of first responders in the background that are important to those guys moving forward. And so although I can step in and hit a nozzle if I have to, right? I'm more the person. I'm driving the truck. I'm taking the notes. I'm doing that backup stuff that you don't often think about, and I'm okay with that. I know my place in the group, so it works, right? We all work together. But I just wanted to mention that it's not always, that person touching a victim that's been hurt, right? It's not always that guy on the nozzle or at the hydrant. That there's a lot of support people that are on the scene at the same time, that are helping how they can, or how, picking up that space.
Oh yeah. We have a saying in utility too, you're only as good as your ground hand. So
again,
you know what I'm saying? You can't perform if your ground hand is not doing what they're supposed to do. So, they make you look good. So again, like I said, that is the most important. That background is definitely the most important part, of the operation. Definitely. So, definitely. So, thank you for your service as far as doing that, because that's definitely very important. We got a lot of other comments. A lot of people just saying hello. Tom Mitchell says, Big Will. I guess he got some money there. Big Money Will. What's
Wrong show.
We got Tamika Lopez, right? She says, hello. What's going on, Meek? What's going on? And Izzy says, I apologize if I missed it, but how long have you all worked together?
We all got different time frames. Again, I've been there for total on our refinery site for 28 years, but we pretty much all started with Monroe Energy from day one.
Yeah. That's about right. What, 9 years now?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
9 years. Yeah. Yeah. About 9 years.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And
And
you
then
too.
Steven says all hands on deck, and that is the comments for right now. So we'll get back to the interview over here. So
Okay.
thanks for that. Thanks for the comments, everybody. Keep them coming. We definitely appreciate you. And back to you, Will.
We were mentioning training. So this is a two-part question, especially one and that all three of you, because I've dealt with all three of you on different levels. First, what does the training regimen consist of to be a first responder? Because I know it's levels to it, EMT and all sorts of stuff. And second, could y'all give up if you were allowed to? Because we have a unit where you have to be specially trained to wear suits to wear. And Ronnie Pierce, Bobo, you've all trained me several times to go inside that alkylation unit, which could burn you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So give the people a brief synopsis of your training regimen and how you have trained people.
Well, I'll just give you a brief rundown on what we have as far as our emergency response teams, the different disciplines. Now we got a total of about right now 96 people on our emergency response team, but then the overall emergency response team consists of different groups. We got some people that just do fire, some people that are just on the rescue team. We got some are just hazmat technicians. Well, else we got oil spill, which is our biggest group of membership that we have. We got certified EMT personnel on the teams. So, it's well-rounded, man. And we got a lot of people do multiple disciplines also. So they could be fire, rescue, hazmat, all that stuff with it. So with all those different personnel at any given time, we got a good group of people that come in and talk, like you said earlier. Myself as a leader, Bo, Dawn, we only good as the people that surround us, man. They make us shine. So when it comes down to it and everybody's safe and it's time to go home, we don't look for the daggone kudos. We want them to give the kudos to the people that showed up on the scene, man. But they don't want to make it happen.
We didn't get in for that. I mean, and part of our job, as Ron knows and Dawn does too, is we need to know everybody's strengths and weaknesses. That we don't want to put somebody in a situation that they're not comfortable in, and we know that they're not comfortable in. So that's part of our job also.
Awesome.
Hey, realize something. So do I count for oil response? Because we there to clean it up.
Oh yeah.
Right? Yeah, definitely.
And
every hand. That's right.
For first responder, because every time y'all have food, I'm the first one there. So
yeah, you are first responder in that case.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get it because I've seen it all. Being there, and most of the time, you three when you were there, like you are like the first ones there, and like Dawn said, you might not be holding the nozzle or whatever, but you consult very well. You always would pull us to the side. And Bobo, whatever was needed, you know what I mean? It's a joint effort. And you guys do it good. And I explained that you don't do it for the kudos, but this is me giving you your flowers while I can because y'all do such a good job. I wanted people to know that I work with some real special people, you know what I mean? And we need each other. It's a beautiful thing with everything that's going on. You know what I mean?
Exactly right.
Definitely. Yeah. All those problems go out the door when it's time to, tackle that problem that you have in front of you. You know what I'm saying? And, your mind goes into a whole nother mindset. You know what I mean? So again, thank you all for your work that you do. And Ron, I want to ask you a question. Will tells me that you saved his life one time. And I would like to know what that was. What happened?
Why don't you let him tell it? Please let him tell it.
All right, yeah.
You tell everybody else, so you might as well tell it on the show.
All right. Well, it started in '73. No, seriously. I got to work one morning and I couldn't breathe, but it was real unusual. It felt like somebody was strangling me. And another guy noticed it and said, "You're blue in the face." And I said, "Help." And where I was in a tight spot. So Ronnie, within 5 minutes, Ronnie was right there. There. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think he picked the Jeep up with one hand, moved it to the side so he could get to me. And he knew the thing that the most amazing thing about that, every time I think about it, you know what I mean, is he knew what to do. He didn't ask me nothing. He just acted and he knew what to do. And it got even more serious when I got to the hospital and they asked me what happened. And I told them about Ronnie. They said, thank you. He saved your life. I said, huh? They said, you had a pulmonary embolism. Had you you would have checked out right there. I knew nothing about it, but being, the training and everything, I mean, it was so quick. He put the oxygen on before and everything. And so I owe him my life. I mean, that's my guy. I mean, it was like I said, it was like in a movie. It was so fast. He was right there. Boom. And then afterwards, Bobo would always check in with me. How you making out? Dawn would check in. How you making out? You all right? It was a joint effort because he was there physically and they were there mentally. And it made me want to, spread that knowledge to tell people, man, you better get checked out because a lot of people walk around with this and don't know it. I thought, it just came, it just happened. Like,
man.
And he was there like instantly, like here. And he said, hold on, sit down, chill right here. The little, he gave me the oxygen. And then the ambulance was there, all in a matter of like, seriously, maybe 10 minutes. Everything happened. So I salute him every time because people, everybody say, you crazy, you this and that. I told him blame Ronnie because he did it.
Yeah, that was all that training kicking in along with that instinct. You know what I'm saying?
Man, like he said, man, we all family in there. You know what I mean? And you might not like everybody in there. You know what I mean? To some degree, but look, we all got to be in there, man. And a lot of us is in there a long, period of time every day. You know what I mean? That's just the nature of the beast in there.
Right.
So when the stuff hit the fan, like Will said, and it's not just in his case, it's in everybody's case that has a problem or every situation on a unit. You know what I mean? We there and we do our thing. That's what we're supposed to do, man. And we take that very seriously. Very seriously.
Yes, sir.
Minutes. I mean, I'm here to. I got a story to tell. It was because we always didn't see eye to eye because of he didn't. I was more. You know what I mean? But
that's from the A. Chuck. That's from the A game. That's from the A game.
Yeah. Sign me up.
But seriously, it tell everybody about what Ron did and what Bobo and Dawn still do. They still, like me and Bobo have conversations about this all the time, about the health because of the conditions that we work in. I mean, that's what we chose. So we got to band together. And I take the knowledge from my experience and I share it with them and they take their knowledge and share it with me because like I said, if it wasn't for Ron's keen instinct and he moved out very fast. That part I remember, in a matter of minutes. So, and I tell everybody, like he said, tell the story. I tell everybody, I want them to know that we have daily safety meetings. And I tell guys, listen, we've been on jobs where you hear them, oh yeah, they don't mean it. No, these guys mean it. I said, this guy saved my life. So he know what he's talking about. So please listen, that means a lot.
Yeah,
definitely.
Hey, if I could, I'd like to give a little public service announcement, if I could, about CPR. All right. So everybody out there could be possibly listening to this. Okay. My recommendation is go get trained.
That's right.
A lot of times it's free. CPR, learn how to use the AED. I mean, anything you do for somebody that's in distress is better than nothing at all.
Yep.
All right. I'm here to tell you firsthand, it works. All right. 5 years ago, I ended up doing it with my wife and ended up bringing her back. I was blessed enough to be able to get her back. But like I said, anything you guys can do, anybody out there that's listening, okay, can get this training. All right. we're all in this together. So that's my public service announcement.
Awesome. Yeah, that's very true because you never know when that will come in handy. You
True.
know, I was also a DJ also, and I know CPR, first aid, and all that as well. But I was actually doing a wedding, I DJ, and we had an individual was choking on a piece of steak. And they actually had to save his life. And luckily, the guys that I was doing the party for, they were already trained in the CPR, stuff like that. They were able to save his life. At first, I said, well, darn, they really getting up to this song. You know what I mean? It was like they really running over that one direction. I thought somebody was over there partying really hard, like something was going on. And come to find out, he was actually choking on a steak, and they ended up getting dislodging it from his throat. So, again, well, it's airway. So, again, you know, it definitely is important. We got some questions out there, too. So, some comments, not questions. And Tom Mitchell says, not you, Will, just the guys that do the work. He's talking about the first responder. Izzy Meditate says, wow, Ronnie, thank goodness you were there. Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Yep. And Steve Thornton says, what a blessing. We have Tom Mitchell. He says, Chief Pierce.
Yes, sir.
Shout out. Yes, indeed. Izzy also says, you are all so brave. I see my daughter's paper cut and I feel weak in the knees. Yeah, well, you definitely couldn't do this job, Izzy. You couldn't do that. Your first responder. And Stephen also says, thanks for the recommendation. So again, thank you all for tuning in and keep them coming. We are here. This is what we're here for. So yeah, awesome. But CPR is definitely important. Trust me. It definitely comes.
Yeah, because it could happen like
yep.
one incident. It just happened.
Yeah, man.
I clocked in and got to my trailer, and just that fast, it just happened. And it's a harrowing experience. And like Bobo said, something is better than nothing.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I witnessed it firsthand. You know, I witnessed it firsthand. So.
Mm-hmm.
The Bobo, well, and Dawn, do you have any similar incidents like with me and Ronnie experienced where you saved someone's life? Well, Bobo, you saved your wife. So, Dawn, you have any experience like that, an incident where the person whose life you saved somebody you knew?
Well, I won't say that I was much of a hero to save a life, but you know, I've been involved with incidents and issues that, you know, I've been able to step in and calm things down a little bit. And just one a few years ago, I was behind a truck that just slowly went through an intersection, ran into oncoming traffic. Wow. And so, of course, I put in park and ran out real quick, and you know, it was called 911, and here the gentleman was having an asthma attack, and he just kind of almost passed out right when I was in the truck. And so just being able to keep everybody calm and move him over and sit him down, lay him down, have him breathe, you know, get the people in the other car, kind of settle them down, have somebody call 911. Just being calm in a situation like that, part of that is learned from all this training. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you what, training is, I used to think, you know, practice was stupid. Right. But when it comes to this, like training and practice is the most important thing that could ever happen. And so, again, I've never saved anybody's life. I've never had to perform CPR, but I have taken that stuff I've learned into situations and just put them in a place where everybody can just move forward.
Awesome. Yeah, that's true. And you know, and that's and like you said, Dawn, you're right, because a lot of times you're like, man, we gotta keep doing this over and over again. But again, the way you practice is how you perform. So you got to take this seriously. Like those, even though you get tired of doing them, it's like routine after a while. Huh? But it's a whole nother story when you go save someone's life, because that whole everything kicks into play, and you're like, wow, I knew, you know, it all now makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Because you know. Had to use it to actually save someone's life or get them out of a situation, you know, that could possibly hurt them or kill them. So again, yeah, practice is definitely needed. You know?
Yeah, and the worst part about it, and in any situation, you scared to death, man.
Yeah.
And if you ain't scared, something wrong. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But then again, all your training and your instincts kicked in, like Dawn said. You need that one sound voice to come in and take charge of a situation and be like, yeah, look, this is what I need you to do. All right. A, B, C, and D. Then you go do this. You know what I mean? You need somebody to come in there and be that calming force, even if you don't have the training, just to sit somebody down and talk them through it. You know what I mean? Because overall, that helps relieve all their problems. I take that back. Not all their problems, but it calm them down to a point where you can help them manage their symptoms or that situation or whatever it may be, man.
Yep.
But like I said, if you ain't scared to go into a situation, something wrong, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is.
Now I think sometimes though that adrenaline takes over though, Ron. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then when you get done, it's like, dang, did I just? I said that could have been bad. You know what I mean? Like sometimes that happens. You know, I've been in situations where, you know, not saving someone's life, but certain situations where we train to do certain things and stuff gets out of control, and then you get it back into control. But you had to really like put your life on the line and do something, or it could have been seriously hurt doing it. And when you get done, you're like, wow, I could have really got hurt. I could have lost my life.
Yeah, you go back and say, dang, that was stupid.
I know. And we got a similar question to that, and I want to get to that since we're on that subject and we're talking about that. And Izzy Meditate says, how are you able to remain so calm? What do you do to remain calm? Take breaths, self-talk. She's asking these questions. What do you do to remain calm? That's a good question, Izzy. And I'm going to let the first responders answer that one.
Good, Bo.
All right, for me, it's like I said, it's falling back on your training. I mean, we're meeting some of these people on the worst day of their lives.
Yeah.
And if they see us lose our minds, then it's not going to help their situation in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So like I said, we have to rely on our training. Basically, a lot of times, as Ron and Dawn know, once you're going to work, you're putting blinders on. You're focused on your task at hand. You know what you're doing. And that's because of the excellent training we've received over all these years. And we're still doing all this training. So that's the biggest thing to me is just rely on your training. And like I said, you're meeting these people at some of their worst, and you're just trying to calm them down and get them through it too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I would agree with the training. It all goes back to training. Okay. So if you have good training and you have good examples of how to take on that stress, right, and how to manage it, because that's really what it is. You're managing that situation.
That's true. That's correct.
You know, and managing that situation sometimes is the training just is right there. I know I have to calm somebody down. I know I have to let them know the ambulance is coming. I know I have to let them know that everything's going to be okay. And it's all from that training.
Yeah.
Yes, in my situation, when Ronnie helped me, I didn't mention that the company I work for, we had a safety man right there. And he didn't know what to do. He just, and Ronnie came through, like I said, so quick and smooth. I thought he had a long leather trench coat on like Shaft. He came in there. Bro, come listen.
Well, it's a show over, man.
Look, he calmed everything down because everybody was in. Like you said, that was one of the worst days of my life. And everybody standing there didn't have a clue. He knew what to do, and he calmed everybody down. You call an ambulance, you do this, you do that. I got this. Everybody, the explosion simmered down real quick. So you're right that he was the voice. Mm-hmm. Hey, this is what we're going to do. Came in real calm and didn't panic, and everything went the right way. So yeah, I can attest to that firsthand.
Awesome.
That scenario plays out all the time. Like Will just said, and that's a perfect analogy, man. It's an explosion. Mm-hmm. It could be figuratively, it could in our place, it could be literally. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But we go through that same process. You know what I mean? You sit back and you analyze your situation, right, and then you start putting the pieces of the puzzle together. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you get a good outcome on whatever you got going on. And us over the years, not to say that we perfected it, but now we're pretty good at doing it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And we build up. We work with the younger guys that's coming up and girls that's coming up to do the same thing, because we got good men, good women in good leadership positions, and we pride them on taking that next step. You know what I mean? So then when we out of there, then we'll know, we can say, hey, this place is going to be in good hands because we got good people doing the right things, and everything's going to be all right. You know what I mean?
Right. Yep, that's right. Yep. And the reason why, like, Ron didn't panic is because he's seen this. Every situation is different. It might be the same situation, but it's always different. Something's different about that situation. You know what I mean? So, Ron seen it. I've seen a similar situation, but I know what he's going through, and this is how I'm gonna do. This is what's going. This is what I'm gonna do to get him right. Whereas a lot of people don't see that. So of course the panic sets in, and like you said, everybody started exploding. Everybody's running this way, running that way. Whereas, like I said, Ron sees it on a daily basis enough to know that he has to remain calm and do his job. So again, it all plays a part, that big training, that experience. And we got Stephen Thornton. He says, has training and protocol evolved drastically since COVID-19?
I don't think training has evolved that much. I mean, really, it's only been the year right now. So if anything, it's just been the lack of, you know what I mean? But getting back into the training mode is the biggest problem, because, over the past couple months, we ran a CPR class. We did a medical scenarios class where we put people into like real life situations, stuff that they would see in the refinery, and have them respond to it. Just last week, we did fire training over in Jersey, putting people back in the situations that we would see in the refinery as far as fires. So all these things are just back to the basics, building on the basics again. You know what I mean? But the protocols of COVID, they ain't changed, man. They might eased up a little bit as far as where we at, but it's still a change. We still got to set forth our biggest goal as protecting our people. You know what I mean? Before we do anything. So that's where we at right now.
Awesome.
I will say that for me, like, I do a lot of training now via Zoom and these kind of virtual things. I do a lot of training for you, not a lot, but I do training for USW, and now they're virtual, right? So they're happening more often, and they're more COVID related and COVID specific. But well, I will say some of them have been for first responders as well. But it's interesting, the difference between a virtual meeting and live, putting your hands on things, and the takeaways and the gives that go along with it.
Awesome. Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
I got a question. I always wondered this. I had a fire a little more than 8 years ago. My house caught on fire, and fire engines everywhere from places I'd never even heard of. They pulled up, whatever, and they came in. They saved the cat, but let my Xbox burn up. But what I'm trying to when the call go out, how does that work? Is it like the region, the vicinity? Because like Aston, I lived across the street from Chester High School, and the Aston firefighters were at my house. Aston, Marcus, I mean, it was, and I was trying to figure it out, and I didn't have time to ask the guy then because of the situation. But I always wondered, how does that work? Like, if there's a fire across the street at a house, do you get the call too?
We won't get it.
Okay.
You talking about refinery guys?
Yes.
We won't get it. Now we can respond. You got to remember, the refinery is a private entity, so we actually just supposed to respond and fight fires within the refinery.
Okay.
But because also now we are considered community relations, if you will.
Yeah.
So we will go out and assist if we have to, or if they need us to assist. A lot of times we came out on Post Road and helped with car accidents and people getting sick or injured and stuff. We had people come up to Smith Street Gate a lot of times. We would go up there and assist them, do medical treatment, call the ambulance, stuff like that. But as far as the regular responding out in Delaware County, but I think we only did it one time. That was the fire on 95, right?
95. We assisted in a couple things up in Aston and stuff like for some individuals. But
yeah, we did
to answer your
hazmat emergency over at Widener University one time. Responding, they had some chemicals in their pool house that they had a big problem with, but the majority of the time we're within the refinery.
so
Hey, I wanted to know too. That's a good question, Will, because like Will was saying, you said Aston was there first versus Chester Fire Department.
That I don't know who was first, but because the situation, because it was a little frantic. But
Okay.
Start calming down, and I started looking around, securing the perimeter. I seen, it was like a shot. Like,
Okay, I got you.
So answering from the municipal side of it, okay, so if you got a call, say in Chester or whatever it is, you always start out big. You always start out big and you work your way down from there because it's a lot easier instead of going small and then trying to go back up again. Remember that probably 99% of the people in our area are all volunteers. And I know Chester has a paid fire department, but they might be tied up someplace else. Okay, so you don't know how many volunteers you're going to get. So you hit as many as you can. You start out big, and depending upon the situation, you know who's coming in. You can make the recalls as you need.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, I got you. Okay, yeah.
So they don't wait a minute. So anybody, you could just volunteer to get trained and fight fire.
Sure, go join your local fire department. They'll walk you through the process.
Not me.
That's how.
Yeah, I just heard. I always heard volunteer, and we never dwelled into the subject. But now that you said it, I was sitting there thinking when you said 99% of them volunteers, like, wow, I didn't know that. I thought they got paid by the city or something to that.
Some places are, but the volunteer places aren't. But then you got certain rules, regulations, you got parameters you got to meet when you join the volunteer company too. So,
in Jersey, there is a 26-week academy which you're going to go through. So,
yeah, I do see a lot of volunteer firefighters, all over the place. Yeah, I talk to a lot of them. A lot of them are volunteers. Yeah, and we do got some.
That's scary to me. I've seen that'll shake you. You spoke about fear, Ryan, them type of situation.
Right.
See it. That'll shake your confidence to see that. As I've seen some bad ones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, I've seen guys, you would think, they rushing, but like you said, cooler heads prevail.
Control chaos, man.
Yeah,
yep.
Exactly.
There you go. Control kit. Yep. Exactly. Hey, we got we got a few comments out here. Kendra says, "Hi, fan. What's up, Will? What's going on, Kendra? Thanks for tuning in." Of course, Izzy says, "Hey, what's up, Kendra?" And we're talking about box assignments. This is what he's talking about when we talked about the different departments. He said something about box assignment. This is Tom Mitchell.
Yeah, that's what Bo was talking about.
Okay. Oh, all right. And Kendra says, this may have been asked already. Sorry, I'm late to the convo. What's the number one mistake you see most people, non-responders, make in an emergency situation? That's a great question, Kendra. Anybody?
Not doing nothing. If you do something. Yeah. It could be, you could be a EMT, you could be just regular Joe Schmo walking down the street, but you see somebody go down or somebody having a problem, don't be afraid. Just I know that. Look, our world is crazy right now, man, and people are very hesitant to interact with other people. But do something, man. You got to do something. It could be the difference between that person getting up the next day and giving you a call and say, "Thank you." Just thank you for helping me, man.
Yes,
just do something.
Yep, that's all. Yep, that's all. Anybody else on that?
You're not going to have the what ifs, and like I said earlier, anything you do is better than nothing at all. So I mean, we're all in this fight together. So
You know,
Awesome.
I'm surprised that in the refinery, that's the first thing you said, Ron, because I thought you were going to say people just trying to see what's going on. That's the
That's
first
a
thing.
whole,
You don't know it, get out of the way, right?
that's a whole different ball game. We had to do another show for that.
Yeah.
I think some people get scared to touch a person because, again, once you touch and you administer any type of CPR, you have to continue to do it until help gets there. And I think a lot of people are scared to take on that responsibility. Or again, like you said, the stuff that we have going on with the COVID and all kinds of different situations, people are just scared to, volunteer and go help someone. Like I see people laying out on the street sometimes, and you go stop and help that man. Don't just watch them and videotape it. Go help them.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So
there are laws that protect you, the Good Samaritan Act and stuff like that.
Okay,
There are
yeah,
laws that
there you
protect
go.
you against stuff like that.
That's good to
Now-
know because some people don't know that. Yeah, some
Now, if
people.
you're an EMT or something like that, then you're going to be held higher to a higher standard. But
Mhm.
the normal person out there, you're good to go.
Okay,
Good.
cool.
Anything's better than nothing.
That's great to know. And then, Will, Tom Mitchell says, yes, I am. I don't know if he's talking about being a
Yeah,
volunteer firefighter. Okay, that's not what he's talking about. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Wow.
All right.
Good stuff, Tom. Keep doing what you do. Good stuff. And yeah, Bobo, to harp on what you was just saying, and Ron, Dawn, it's contagious too, because seeing what you guys do, it extends. You know what I mean? It makes you want to gain more knowledge. And I mean, I might have been one of them people years back, somebody down, might pull my phone out, ooh, look, but now it's more or less like, y'all was there for me. Let me be here for this person.
Mhm.
You know,
Right.
and a lot of people don't have that mindset.
No, not at all.
Right. They rather look, don't look, because you sometimes, what's the saying? The life you save might be your own. So that's a thing to have inside that internal instinct to say, let me help, let me do this, let me do that. You know what I mean? Because you never know.
Yeah, man. You never know.
That's true. Yeah.
And like you said, man, it's a choice too. You know what I mean? It's a choice for you to want to be able to step outside of yourself and go help another person.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Because you just don't know what that person may have, how that person may react. You know what I mean? You don't know, man. But like we always say, like we were just talking about, do something. That's all.
And I got a question for all three of you. Is this something that you want to do all your life, or is this something that you fell into? Talk to me. We'll start off with ladies first, Dawn, and we'll work our way around.
Well, it was always interesting to me. I never knew any women firefighters growing up. I knew a lot of volunteers. Like I said, my father was a volunteer, so I was around a firehouse quite often. But I didn't know any female firefighters. I didn't even know that was an option at the time. So I always wanted to help people. I was real close to being in the police academy, passed the test, and kind of decided I didn't want a gun on an everyday basis. It took a different path. But the background of it, helping people, I think was always there. And then this was part of finding my outlet to do that, was at the refinery.
Awesome.
To me, I just kind of fell into it. Talking to a buddy of mine, he talked me into coming over, hanging out at the firehouse. And it went from there. And I mean, it's almost like a little bit of an addiction. You're always looking for different training. I mean, you can always volunteer to do anything. I mean, you just don't have to be a first responder. I mean, you can help people learn how to read, help out with the kids doing whatever they need to do to keep them out of trouble.
Right.
I mean, but to me, it was more of an addiction than anything else, and I always strive for more education than anything else.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I just did it from the opening posting that was in the refinery, opening in the firehouse, man. It was just initially it started out as just a change of pace to get off the unit, because like Will, you was talking earlier about the acid unit. That's where I worked on the HF acid and the CAT unit, and I just needed a change, man. So I went down to the firehouse, and after that, it was on, man. Fighting fires was my thing, and rescue people, find space and oil spill. Back in the day, now that we old heads on the block, back in the day, me and Bo, we had water rescue going on down there, and we used to go up in
Bucks County.
Yeah, up Bucks County and do trench rescue in the freezing cold, all that crazy stuff, man. So it was just a thing, man. And then, like Bo said, even Dawn said too, it's always a desire to get better. You know what I mean? To improve on your skills, to get that next certification. And then it came on the other side to want to teach people how to do it. You know what I mean? So they could be better. Those new people that come on board, you want to help them get better so they could get to a level where you at. You know what I mean? Because we had great people teaching us. Mike Conrad still in the refinery. Ray Yarnell, God bless his soul. All these guys, Kurt Brosovich, y'all know what I'm talking about, man. These guys took us under their wing, and they taught us how to do it. So now we teaching the other new guys how to do it. You know what I mean? Just the thing is how to do it right. Attention to detail. To be caring when you want to, you got somebody down and they need help, or how to respond to emergency in the daggone refinery. You always want to teach them to be better, man. The ultimate goal is for them to be better than you are. Right? Yeah. So that's the way it goes.
Yeah. I also wanted to ask you guys, did you not guys and gals, do you take that home with you, all of your safety, your knowledge with you when you're driving? Like, when you're riding down the road where you see an accident happen, you say, oh, they doing that wrong, oh, they should have did this, or they should. I mean, it becomes a culture after a while. So, I find myself doing the same thing. Oh, they should have had that up. I'm like, I'm not even working today. Let's keep going.
24/7,
Yeah, exactly.
365.
In my head now, it's like, wow, I can't get rid of
all the time, man. It's all the time.
We got some comments out there. Tom Mitchell says, y'all enjoy your weekend. See you Monday.
See you Monday, Tommy.
Take it easy, Tom. And then Izzy also said, this is a great one here. It says, now that we are in a COVID-19 pandemic, is CPR still performed mouth to mouth, or do you now use a special tool?
Ooh.
CPR, it seems like it's changing every day. You know what I mean? It's pretty much no more mouth to mouth. They harp on doing compressions. You know what I mean? So all they want to do is get you to circulate blood throughout the body. And Chuck, like you was talking about earlier, doing CPR. Look, if you start and if you ain't got no help, you could be pushing on somebody's body for a long period of time, man. You know what I mean? Until the cavalry comes to help you out, or you get somebody else that has a some type of equivalent background to you, or that you can show, look, I need you to help me because my arm's about to fall off at the daggone shoulder joint. You know what I mean? You could be doing it for a long time.
Yes,
but the main thing is to keep the blood circulating in the body.
Yeah, there you go.
And there are special tools, that will do CPR for you, but they ain't like something you carry around on you. You know what I mean?
Right.
More ambulance type response stuff.
Yep.
Hey, I got a question, Ronnie and Bobo. Bobo, you was in the Boy Scouts. Ronnie, you was in the Marines.
That's a big difference.
Yo, dirty, boy. You dirty, boy.
Wow.
Did any of that play? I mean, did any of that help prepare all this stuff that you had? You know what I mean? Like, okay, Ronnie, you was in the Marines. Did that help you have them nerves of steel? You know what I mean?
I think it was definitely a building block for me, man. That was 10 years worth of Marine Corps, so yeah, it was definitely a building block. And it, in my life, it was one of the best things that ever happened to me, man. You know what I mean? It was just far as a building of my personality, you know what I mean? The way I hold myself, all that came from, well, besides my mom cutting me and my brother's butt every now and then, coming back up in the day, you know what I mean? It was, yes, it did help. Very much so.
Wow.
Good. Well,
Wow.
well, I mean, You was in the Boy Scouts, you was Scout leader, but man, look, I played the clarinet in the band. It can't be
All
that.
right. I was a Boy Scout leader along with a couple other gentlemen. How's
That's
that?
the difference, man.
There's a difference. I was a Boy Scout leader, and we did a lot of the training and stuff like that. And I actually volunteered. They call it Scout colleges to help with first aid and stuff like that. And big thing for me is I'm proud to be able to say that 8 kids in my troop, including my son, Eagle Scout.
Wow.
So, I mean, that's a huge thing for these young men and ladies now to be able to accomplish.
Right.
And, you know, you have to go in and with the dedication and, you know, put on a good base and just do your job and train them. And hopefully they'll be able to do good things in the future also.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for the shout out, Will.
That's
Hey,
funny.
Dang.
Got anything to add there, Dawn?
I have a son who's an Eagle Scout and a Marine.
That's right.
Okay, there
Yep.
you go. There you go.
That's right.
And I did all that volunteering too, Bo.
Yep.
Yeah, I had a cousin that was he got to that point too. So I've seen him go up through the ranks as well. So that's it's awesome. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Hey, look, we're gonna take a commercial break and we're gonna come back and wrap it on up. But we're gonna play the new version of the A Game commercial. So check it out.
Will, there you go, Will.
Interesting. Here we go. All right, that is the new commercial. One of the new, we got a few of them, but that's one of the new commercials. How y'all like that one? Y'all like that one? Anybody?
Will, was you the you spoke for you was dancing?
Don't you think when I come to work, that's how
And I see you twirling around like that.
Yeah.
And again, give me a call at 302-723-2836 to get your free sample of the A Game. 302-723-2836 to get your free sample. You won't be disappointed.
So every time I call that number, it go. I'm just kidding. Next time I see you.
Don't even play me like that. Look.
You're going to get that from me now, too.
Exactly. Hey, you can catch us on LinkedIn at Feel Good Talk. You catch us at Facebook at Feel Good Talk, YouTube at FGT Mind, Body, Soul, and Business, and also on Instagram at Feel.GoodTalk. Tune in. If you didn't like the page, please like our page, Feel Good Talk, and get all of what you need as far as the, we try to bring the wholesome, the goodness, try to bring something great that you can use, you can need, that you need, and it's all good. Just check us out. If you want to feel good, listen to Feel Good Talk. And I'm going to throw it over to you, Will. What's going on, baby?
Man, I caught it, and I just want to say, man, it was a pleasure. I appreciate y'all taking the time out of your busy schedule to grace us with your presence.
Yeah, man. That's cool.
I
You
wasn't
told you can leave, man.
All right, yeah. Well, okay. Like Ronnie said, we family, together in the trenches every day. And these guys look out for everybody. I mean, for everybody. Right. And we appreciate it, And I thought the world should know what you guys do. You know what I mean?
We appreciate that, man.
That's awesome, man. It was a pleasure meeting you guys too, man. Awesome.
Same here, Chuck. Same here.
Definitely.
Same here, Chuck.
Wait a minute, we got another comment.
Yeah. You want to read them off?
Where are they now for Lethal Weapon? No. Boy, they my people from the job. First responders. Cut that out.
All right, Chuck. It's nice talking to you, Chuck.
Hey, man, I appreciate it. know what I mean?
And it's ebony and ivory, bruh.
There you go.
Ebony and ivory. Get it?
Definitely. Always. And I appreciate everything y'all do, me and everybody around me, man. And I guess that's it for tonight.
We got some more comments. Get to those.
Got some more back.
Yeah, let's get those real quick. Kendra Moore says thank you. She must mean thank you all for your courage and service. And also Izzy says the same thing. Well, she says thank you for sharing. So yeah. So again, hey, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We definitely appreciate you. And hey, that's it. That was a good show. Great show, man. Oh, here she's back. Dawn is back. Hold on. Dawn is back and better than ever. What's going on, Dawn?
Oh, sorry about that. Lost you.
It's all good. It's all good. I was just telling everybody, you know, and for you too, we appreciate everything you do, especially for me and everybody around me and everybody. Y'all make, you know, y'all boost confidence and everything in us because we in a dangerous place, but it feels a little bit better with y'all around. And I'm just letting y'all know I appreciate you. And that's it for tonight. God bless and good night. I'll see y'all on the next show.
All right. Peace. Yes,
Have a good week.